What is up? What is popping? You know it ain't no stopping. It is your boy, the International Sensei. Welcome to the Entity Dojo podcast, man. Your source for every damn thing. Keep it right, keep it tight, and above all, please talk to me nice. And you know I like to rhyme, and it is time for another story time. Now, the title of it is going to be Wing Chun loses to grappling. I'm going to preface my comments by saying I think Wing Chun is an amazing art. I think that a lot of elements of it are very good. It is great. It's a very good art. I enjoy it. I've taken some Wing Chun classes. I enjoy it. I've been doing martial arts since age 4, and I have all respect for many styles. So this is not a Wing Chun diss. This is just a funny story that happened to my pops a while back. So I'm just gonna preface it by saying that please do not get offended. I think Wing Chun is amazing. This is not a Wing Chun smear campaign. This is just a call to action for people who have that superiority complex for their art or affinity for their art. And this also goes towards grappling arts too. It's a two-way street. But anyway, I'm going to get right to it, and then I'm going to break it down later on. So, my pops, I love my father dearly. He is a Wing Chun fanatic. I mean, he's one of the old school cats that grew up in like the 70s and 80s with the kung fu movies and the Enter the Dragons and stuff. Where like and obviously like the Ip Man franchise was like booming crazy when I was growing up, like Ip Man 1, 2, 3. And he was always just Wing Chun this, Wing Chun that, Wing Chun this, Wing Chun. So he finally gets a chance to study Wing Chun. I don't know the master's name, so I'm not going to say his name. And either way, if I did, I wouldn't say his name just because I don't want to put no bad juju on his name. So he goes to this Wing Chun place and was complaining for weeks. He's like, man, this dude keeps kicking me. He keeps using me as the uki. And for those who don't know what an uki is basically someone who is basically like your crash test dummy, for lack of a better term. So an uki is a person that you demonstrate on. So if whether I'm teaching boxing, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, whatever, let's say I have this, if I'm showing people how to do a double leg, I'm going to call up one of the students, do the double leg on them. Or if I'm going to go for a Darce choke or whatever, I'm going to use someone that knows how to get in the proper positions just so we can have a good visual for the students. Now, there are some instructors that are very kind to their ukis where they just show how it works. They might put a little squeeze on you, or they might tap you a little bit if it's a striking technique or a grappling technique or whatever. But then there are some instructors, which I find it more prevalent in the striking styles. And more, I find it more prevalent in the striking styles because I don't know why. It feels like a lot of those guys like have something to prove. But I've still seen it in grappling arts as well. But one of the things that one of the things that he kept, that I've seen is just the instructor just kicking the shit out of like the uki and ragdolling them, this, that, and the third. So my dad was going there for about a couple months, to get back to the story, and the dude is just kicking his ass. And one day, there were like some young ladies that were there. I've never went, just because I was still competing at the time, so I was focused on karate, taekwondo, kickboxing, and I was already training at a pretty good gym at the time, so I wasn't too concerned about it. So he goes there, the dude is just beating him up in front of all these lovely ladies, and he gets annoyed, he gets tired of it. So what he decides to do is go for some grappling techniques, and my dad has studied a little bit of judo, so he basically takes him up, judo throws him, and power drives him through a table, like some fucking WWE styles type of shit. Breaks the table, dude back all messed up, he all hurt, he all upset. And moral of the story is, I guess the fucking Wing Chun ain't worked that well, did it? Now, I'm not making fun of Wing Chun or nothing. All I'm saying is, like, he was so Wing Chun, Wing Chun, Wing Chun, Wing Chun, and he freaking judo through this man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he used a grappling move, which for some reason he has an affinity for Wing Chun. He is not a fan of like the grappling styles. I don't know why. I feel like a lot of like old head like karate and boxing. And he's a big boxing fan too. So a lot of like old head boxers and old head strikers, like they don't understand the grappling arts. They might like sample a little bit. They might like learn a hip toss here or there, but they don't really respect the grappling arts as much as they should. You know what I'm saying? So he scoop slams dude, and he comes home all upset, hot and bothered. And I was like, yo, so you was talking about the invincible Wing Chun. Why did my son do the fucking trapping hands 52 blocks on you? Like, why he didn't do the Ip Man rapid punch? Like, why he didn't punch you 15 times to stop the throw or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, I would make all kind of jokes. And he was mad, upset. I'm like, look, I think Wing Chun is a beautiful art. I think it is outstanding. If you are a striker, it is great to mix in there. If you are a grappler, it is great to add to your repertoire. I think it is outstanding. But it is not the end-all, be-all. There's still flaws to it, just like there are flaws to karate, just like there are flaws to taekwondo, just like there are flaws to jiu-jitsu, just like there are flaws to wrestling. There's flaws to everything because these are things created by human beings. Nothing is invincible. No matter what style, if you look from style to style to style, if you have just like all of these practitioners, there's always some form of flaw in their style. Like, for example, Thai guys, great style, very hard style, but they do not emphasize head movement and things like that. It's all about the shell. And when some of those guys switch to MMA, they can't shell up because they don't have those big old gloves anymore. And now they're getting cracked because they don't know how to move and slip. And that's not all Muay Thai guys. I love Muay Thai too. I'm not talking down on any of these styles. I'm just saying this to say keep an open mind and don't think that one style is the end all be all. Learn a little bit of everything, man. Learn a little bit of everything. Don't poo-poo another style because it's something that you've never either never done or you just seen it in the movies and you think it's like the superior thing. I love the Ip Man franchise. I'm not a Wing Chun practitioner. I have studied some. I enjoy it. It's a very good style, but I understand how effective something like jiu-jitsu is. It's extremely effective. And for the people who think, oh, well, you can't use it in the street, you can't use it without a gi. If I have a t-shirt, bro, I have a t-shirt. I could use that. And they do no-gi training as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't limit yourself because your perspective is so narrow. You know what I mean? Like, I've even had debates with people who still think that, like, boxers are the superior fighters. Boxers are outstanding fighters, but there is a large portion of the fight game that they neglect and are not hip to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not hip to the kickboxing, the leg kicks, and things like that. You're not hip to the spinning techniques and stuff like that. You're not hip to the grappling. You know what I mean? There's just certain things that MMA especially has really exposed a lot of people to. And even for some of the grappling styles. Like, I know like Chael Sonnen has said it many times that grappling is a very important part, but specifically wrestling, there are a lot of things that you kind of have to throw out the window if you are a strict wrestler. There's certain things that you're not going to be going for or ever even need to have a career in MMA and vice versa. Like for striking, there's certain stuff that you're never going to be able to do, not need, but there's also stuff that's extremely, extremely helpful when you're fighting. I say that to keep an open mind. Do not think that there's just like one end all be all impervious style. Learn your striking arts, learn your grappling. I am not here to down anything. I'm just here to share my knowledge, man, spread the martial arts. I love them, but I feel like even now people do not understand that you need to be both. You need to know how to strike. You need to know how to grapple. I do not give a damn how good your boxing is, if someone can get to your legs, you are fucked. I do not give a damn how good your wrestling is. If you cannot get to their legs, you are fucked. Or if they know how to stop your takedown and things like that, you're gonna end up like Ben Askren. Like, stop this notion of I can be a one-trick pony. It does not work. And that's if you're competing, that's just fighting in real life. Like, you need to know a little bit of everything. It's just like when you're cooking. You know how fucking boring it would be if you only could cook one dish, steak and mashed potatoes. Every night is steak and mashed potatoes, steak and mashed potatoes, steak and mashed potatoes. That shit is boring. Why not have salmon one night? Why not have freaking shrimp scampi one night? Why not have like a burger one night? Or make a big salad? Or learn how to make pastries. That's what martial arts is to me. It's like making this. It's like you're a chef and you're making this masterful culinary menu. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have your karate, you have your boxing, you have your jiu-jitsu, you have your wrestling, and you kind of take bits and pieces from all those things. Once you've reached competence in one style, and now you're able to kind of mix and mold yourself into that complete martial artist as a whole. And even if it's not for competition, just for yourself and for your journey as a martial artist, it's a beautiful thing, man. But with that being said, man, again, man, I love the arts. This was just a fun story. I thought it was funny. Like, my pop's freaking judo throwing his Wing Chun master, like it was nothing. But respect to all practitioners of whatever style that you do. I love all martial arts, man. I love learning it. I love training it. And I really wish that more people would understand how beautiful it is so they can grow even more. But with that being said, man, keep your mind open. Do not poo-poo another person's style. But if some funny shit happens, It's all good. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Please follow me on Twitter at Sensei_Global21, International_Sensei on Instagram, Enter the Dojo Podcast, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys so much, and please share. We must now exit the dojo. Us.